Does your middle schooler always need help with their math homework? Do they come home and they don't understand, they have a test and they don't know how to do it, they're just stuck and they can't complete their homework or their schoolwork on their own? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can help your kiddo as a parent, but how to do it the right way and how to get them to do it on their own independently. So the very first thing that I want to start with is a lot of parents think that in order to help their child with their homework, they need to sit down next to them, they need to spend time and spend an hour or two just walking through every single problem, showing them how to do the homework. Perhaps you have to go actually research and look it up, and you guys are watching videos together on YouTube and whatnot, trying to figure it out. This is what you should not be doing. So, really quick there, I know, unpopular opinion, but if you want to create a student that's independent, this is actually the opposite of creating an independent learner. So you don't want to be holding their hands the entire time. You don't want to sit down and do the entire homework and work through every single problem. Do not do that. This is the opposite effect. So what you do want to do is, again, we're trained, the whole mission here is to get them to do it independently. So when I work with my middle schoolers in my academic coaching classes and my workshops, what I typically do is I'm holding their hand and then I let go. And this is the part that's uncomfortable in the beginning. Nobody likes it. When you let go and you are leaving them alone for a few minutes, this is uncomfortable. Now it's like, wait, but I still need help. I don't know how to do this. Once you push through this is kind of where all the magic happens. That's what I say. So let's kind of go backwards, okay? What you want to do is you want to guide them and not show them. So the very first thing, when you are helping your kiddo with their homework, you want to guide them. You do not want to show them, and you don't want to give them the answer. You don't want to show them the step by step. This is how you do it, right? You want to start asking a series of questions, right? And now I call this psychological scaffolding. This is what I do when I work with my middle school students, but really this just a big fancy word, ignore that. What that means and what you want to do is just ask simple guiding questions, right? So for example, let's say your middle schooler needs to convert fractions, or let's fractions into percentages, whatever, it doesn't really matter, right? So we're going from fractions to percentages. So the very first thing is, well, what does this percent mean, right? So that's where what I would ask is, what does a percent mean, right? And a lot of times you're going to get, I don't know, well, like 5%. They might just give you a random example and you're like, okay, great, that's an example. Now tell me what that means. 5%. What does percent mean, right? So then again, guide them to get out of 100. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so now we know that percent is out of 100. So 5% means what? Put it together. 5 out of 100, right? And then from there, now you just have unlocked that. Now you're just waiting for them to make that connection. You are not going to make that connection for them. One of two things will happen here. Either they're going to jump and immediately say, wait, so as a fraction, it's 5 out of 100, 5 over 100. Got it. There we go. Or they're still going to, the connection hasn't been made, and this is really important, where that you don't give them the answer. Do not make that connection for them. You are going to continue, no matter how painful it is, no matter how many guiding questions you have to ask. You need to get them to realize and have that click happen on their own. Because what's going to happen is, if you tell them, yeah, see, so it's 5 out of 100, so that your fraction is 5 out of 100. If you tell them, they're going to understand. They're going to say, oh, I get it. But because they did not come to that conclusion on their own, their brain is still in survival mode. So what they're going to do for the next 10 questions, they're going to do it right for you. They're going to do it. The next 10 questions, they're going to do exactly what they learned to do, but they still don't know why. So this is key, because a lot of times, oftentimes you have the homework, you have the material, whatever that topic is what the next 10 problems are going to be. So they just know that, oh, so do the same thing. Their brain is in, okay, do the same thing. But then the very next day, when they get a new sheet of paper, they can't do the same thing, right? So it's really, really important. If you want your kiddo to be independent and to learn how to do things on their own, the very first thing I say is to start with guiding them, not showing it to them. Have them make that click, have them understand why on their own. Now, what I always say is, we want to learn, and the best way to do this is use what you do know to figure out what you don't know, right? So again, we're going to use what we know to figure out what we don't know. And that's, you're guiding them to figure out what they know. Well, what's the problem asking? Well, what are the two numbers in the word problem, for example? Well, what's the question asking you to do, right? What do you think we need to do? Do we need to multiply or do we need to divide? Are we adding? Are we subtracting? What does altogether mean, right? So these are the types of guiding questions that you need to ask. So that's kind of step one of this. Step two, now this is kind of where I had mentioned in the beginning, the letting go of their hand. It's after you get that click to happen, after you have them do a couple problems together, you're going to let go. Now you're going to let go and say, I want you to do the next ones by yourself. Now you're going to leave. You're going to walk away. This is crucial for me. I actually will leave. I put them in a breakout room and then I'm just like, I'm going to give you a 5-minute timer. I'm actually going to leave while you work on this. And now being very clear that if you don't get it, you can't just sit there and say, I don't get it, right? You have to try. Again, going back to use what you know, what you just did on the last one to figure out what you don't know. And at the very best, I just want to guess. I just want to see your best effort, right? If you really don't know, do your best, come to an answer. Even if it's not the right answer, come to an answer. I'm giving you 5 minutes. That's what I do. So again, give your kiddo some time. Depending on the problem, you might have to give them 1 or 2 in that 5 minutes, or, again, it all depends on what it is, but give them some time, let go of their hand, and you're going to walk away. Now you are training them to be independent. Now what they're going to do is, okay, well, they know that you're coming back and they know that they have a certain time period. So they're going to have to do something for you. They're going to have to give you some kind of work. This is where, again, all that magic happens. They're going to be forced to be independent. You're almost forcing them to kind of bring out their critical thinking skills and their problem solving skills. So these two things, the showing and guiding, as well as let go and let them do it on their own. Do not do every single problem with them. If they're confused or stuck, you're going to come back. Now, after those 5 minutes are over, you're going to come back and you're going to just take a look at what happened. Either they're going to get it right, awesome, great, or again, this still might be hard. You still might have to do some more guiding questions, but do not give the answer yet, right? Now you're going to see what happened. You guys are going to look, you're going to ask them, can you tell me what you did? Have the kiddo explain what they did without you having to say, let me look. Have your child explain what they did, and one of two things is going to happen. They're going to realize a mistake as they're explaining it to you and say, wait, actually, hold on. And they're going to fix it. Problem solved. You did nothing. They independently caught their mistake. You didn't have to go find it and point it out to them. They independently on their own found the mistake. Or they're going to explain to you what they did, not knowing what they did wrong. And you're going to now go intervene and ask some more guiding questions. Well, maybe, again, new type of problem. Maybe they divided instead of multiplied. You can just kind of guide them. Well, why did you divide? How do you know you were supposed to divide? And they're going to tell you why, again, and you can say, how do we know we're not adding? How do we know we're not subtracting? What made you, again, you're trying to guide them, right? Not tell them and not point out. You're trying to, again, guide them. Once you kind of get to like, oh, I know what to do, leave again for 5 more minutes, leave for another 5 minutes, let them work on their own, leave for another 5 minutes. Maybe you're going to extend the 5 minutes and work to 10-minute blocks. But this is how you start to get your kiddo to do their homework independently on your own. And as time goes by, I find that sweet spot to be between 5 to 10 minutes. But as time goes on, you're going to have to continue, repeat this process, the guiding, the step by step. But eventually they're going to be able to do their homework on their own, and they can work for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes on their own without needing any help. So give that a try. If you need any extra help, if you have any questions about how this kind of works, or maybe you want some extra support and you just don't have the time to do it, check the links down below. I actually have a free consultation call where you can come talk to me and just simply ask me any questions on how you can help your kiddo, or we can talk about a strategy session as to how I can help, maybe support any other resources or any directions I want to point you in. There's the link down below. Again, my whole mission right now is to just help, share my knowledge, help you guys out. I get a lot of these questions, and oftentimes I'm seeing it done. I don't want to call it the wrong way, but I'm seeing it done in a way that's having the opposite effect. And then I see so many parents frustrated, so many kiddos and students frustrated. And so our whole mission is to get the kids to be independent and do things on their own while providing support. But again, just being strategic as to how we provide that support. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my latest video. There's a lot of things on confidence, which is another huge piece that a lot of parents struggle with. So check out my previous video on how to boost your middle schoolers' confidence in math, because this again is going to tie in and it's going to affect everything that you're doing right now. That's just like the big piece. that will actually skyrocket the results. So give that a look and stay tuned for the next video.